Hello, I'm Stephen Mason and this is Review Rant Random. This is a 3-part video released today. Straight out, no messing around. And it's 3 Christmas films, 3 very random Christmas films. But before the first video starts, I need to change into the one and only. That's right, Stephen Claus. Is that what I'm calling myself? At least I'm not painting it green like last year as the Grinch. I've just made this video even harder. I always do it myself. Anyway, first video is Mix Nuts. Nuts, 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 snuts, nuts, nuts, nuts. Going a bit nuts here. I'm not called Felix. Mix Nuts. Steve Martin movie. Wow. I've watched 3 Christmas films the last couple of nights, and I watched this last year, and I wrote a review. I thought this is really good for fast forward views. Seen this heavily advertised back in the day on VHS. And Steve Martin was like, you know, he had Father the Bride. He'd been big in the 80s, you know, but then he sort of took a bit of a detour to the 2000s. You know, he made some films out there. I think one was called A Simple Wish, or stuff like Sergeant Bilko, which wasn't a massive hit, if you know what I mean. And Mixed Nuts was around that same time. Massive cast though. Adam Sandler is in this in a very, very, very small role, and I've just made myself harder about this. Come on, come on. There we go. You know, Adam Sandler's in this doing his whole. Oh, don't be doing that. But yeah, Adam Sandler's in this with his ukulele. Juliette Lewis is in this. Rob Reiner's in this, you know, the guy who directed Stand By Me. It's got a big supporting cast for a film that is very fucking dark for a Christmas film. It's about working at a fucking suicide line, basically. People are phoning up. And you know, it's got. I mean, it does build up a lot of puns to a lot of jokes for Christmas movies, and Leroy Schreider's in this, if that's how you say his name, or just if you want to know who that is, it's Ray Donovan, the killer from Scream 1. Well, the accused killer. So basically, it all takes place on the boardwalk, and I love the music of this. It's got some classic jingles in there, even mixed up with, like, even when they go to the veterinarian places, when it's all cats and dog noises, there's a Christmas jingle, and it's all set on Venice Beach. And the film starts with like an earthquake going on. There's an earthquake kit. You need a screwdriver and an earthquake kit. Don't know. Fucking left a window open down the window. Anyway, and they throw a lot of cliches because there's no snow in this movie. You know, he's going down the boardwalk on his bike and he sees a snowman flying around on his roller skates and all that, and there's, you know, people with Christmas trees. Parker Posey's in this, you know, in a very early role. Her and her husband are trying to support a Christmas tree, and the story is basically everyone seems to coalesce around the Samaritan's helpline, and they basically are about to get evicted, and everyone's scared of, like, the strangler who's going around murdering people. Again, it's a very dark Christmas film. Felix, who's running around dressed as Santa Claus, is trying to provide and get back with his ex-girlfriend, or falling out with his girlfriend who's pregnant. There's a baby about to be born. I've just knocked over something. There's a lot of tongue and jokes. It's like, click, click, I can't hear you, can't hear you, and you never hear from the guy again on the phone. It's got a few jokes as well about one guy keeps phoning up just wanting to talk to a woman. Uses the fact that he might be dying. He says, I want to talk to a woman, and starts screaming and saying what he wants to do, like it's a sex line. And Leroy Schreider, who turns up, is obviously a transvestite in it, and he's really good in it. You know, he really suits the role. And I'm going to put this down because Adam Sandler is very, very little in this movie with his little where he just starts singing the Christmas songs at the end. Anyway, ranting over. It all takes place and everyone seems to get together, so you get to meet all these characters, and by the end of the movie they have a dead body to dispose of very randomly. And it's good. It's got a tongue-in-cheek. It's a 12. I think it should be a 15. I mean, it'd been a bit more edgier, like a bit more Fox and shit like that in the Christmas. I think it would have worked a little bit better, but you don't really associate fucking bastard and all that with Steve Martin. I don't, anyway. He turns in a good performance. There's a bit where Leroy Schreider, who turns up, basically answers the phone. The guy again, who's a sex pest on the phone, says, I want to talk to a woman. He's like, you are talking to a woman. Instantly hangs up, never calls back. It's a joke that's build up, and it pays off brilliant. Even the bit where everyone seems to, like, leave the apartment building, come back and stuff like that, and Leroy Schreider, and he's just dancing around with Steve Martin. Then Steve Martin leaves, and there's a bit where Steve Martin comes back, and Ray Donovan is still dancing around, and he just chucks Steve Martin across the room, and Steve Martin does it like a starfish with his mouth wide open. There's some very good storytelling in this. There's a lot of an ensemble cast coming together, led by Steve Martin. But as I say, it just fell right under the radar. I mean, it's Columbia, from the director of Sleepless in Seattle. So there we go. I didn't realise. I mean, you got mail. Again, it was a case of like, this is going to be a big movie, but I think it's very, very dark for a Christmas movie. You know, it's suicide, it's relationship breakups, I mean, Christmas time is a lonely time for people, and I'm not taking a pun of that. There's a lot of people out there to talk to. If you know, the time of year, just talk to someone in that respect. It's a hard time, and that film just pokes fun at it in a very positive way. But you've got to be able to take the dark joke to see, you know what I mean? So, if you've never seen it, I mean, I would watch it not at Christmas. I mean, I watched it last night, but I really enjoy it. It's got some funny bits, and every time I watch it, I rediscover it. And as I say, I wanted to write a review and do it last year for a review, but just to rant about it and just like Christmas. But if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. So, that's Mixed Nuts. It's got some funny bits in it, definitely check it out. And I've got 2 other Christmas films to do. So this is part 1. There'll be no outtakes. Or there might be, actually there is an outtake about the hat. But thanks for watching part 1, and I'll see you for part 2. Here's an outtake for it. That is still flashing. It's been about 5 years since my mum got this hat for Christmas, and it's been flashing ever since. It's still flashing.